$1 million kid Jose Guapo, aka Nacho, giving a major double salute to hood men till they skid it. Drive the car like I don't care about it. Nigga disrespect me and I promise you gon' hear about it. You shuffle like you blind, you tryna hit everybody. I get high and D on your bitch, don't you fuck everybody. Lean, what's the move, what's going?
Fucking tired, dude.
I opened the door there.
Hey, y'all gonna hear a song on the project. They gonna say, I was selling Zipsaline, I was at my Uncle Snoop house.
Yeah.
It's the house. It's the house. Why did Uncle Snoop finna come out here and be tricking like this? Everything straight?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that shirt for the phone.
Alright, so shit, let them know where we at right now. For those who don't know you if they don't.
We in Zone 3 Atlanta, Pittsburgh, community to be exact. Is it 244 University Avenue?
Yeah.
Sam Street. Right now we on Sam Street. This is the street I was brought up on, raised on. My grandma stayed in 3 different houses. This is my uncle's house I'm at right now. Shit, they down there been here all my life.
Yeah.
We're in Pittsburgh right now.
Bet. So shit, how would you describe that as far as growing up here and whatnot? Was it rough, easy?
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough because my grandma stayed over here, so all my brothers and sisters, this is where we like used to come for spring break, the weekend, shit like that. We come to our grandma's house because we want to be with our brothers and sisters. But it's 11 of us.
Yeah.
So shit. Yeah, it was rough. Then my daddy was locked up for. My daddy did like 10, 11 years for a murder, ended up getting out because they finessed it to a manslaughter. But he was out of our lives for 11 years, 10, 11 years. So yeah, I had a single parent struggle. You know what I'm saying? My uncles and shit was always like getting money and shit like that, but they weren't big time yet. But they were getting money and shit like that. So my uncles and shit were making sure I stayed with, like, my uncles and my mom made sure I had what I needed. I might can't always get what I wanted, but I had what I needed. And then for real, by the time I turned 11, I started getting my own money. I started getting my own money at the age of 11, like some shit that can hold some weight when you 11. Like I was having like 100 or 2 on me at the age of 11 of my own money.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Would you say at that age then that you already knew what was going on, like you was aware of everything that was happening, how you was getting your money and shit like that?
Yeah, I read my daddy's Discovery Pack when I was 10 years old. So they like, and I had like phone calls with him in this same house right here.
Yeah.
Like this house right here.
Yeah.
This the house I read the Discovery Pack in, and this the house I have phone conversation with him. So it's like I knew I was always ahead of my time. Like I was just one of them kids that could pick up on shit. Like if I see it once or you show me once, pay attention on memory. So I picking up on shit. So I just always knew I wanted more. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like my uncles, like as I started getting older and older, like 10, 11, they getting money now.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm seeing flamboyant shit.
Yeah.
I'm in the hood. You gotta know the dope dealers in the hood. So I'm seeing nice cars. I'm learning what the difference is from a ugly pair of shoes to a 5 pair of shoes. I'm learning what the nice clothes is, and I wanted that shit. So shit, I jumped out of the porch and went for what I know.
Yeah. Alright, so then for you then, when did the music come into play then? Was that something that was on your mind at the time?
Nah, I ain't even gonna lie. I never was on no rap shit. I was on some getting money, stay fly, having my way type shit, and that's the lifestyle of a rapper. But I never grew up. It ain't like when I was little, I would tell people, oh, I want to be a rapper when I grow up. I want to be a rapper when I grow up. That never was my dream, but I always knew I was going to be my own boss. I ain't gonna lie, like, I always knew I was gonna be my own boss. In high school, like middle school and high school, like when they used to be saying what you gonna be when you be older, what you get when you get older, like I ain't never was saying like an astronaut or a rapper or no shit like that. Like I ain't have it figured out in middle school, but I was getting money in middle school. Like I was, like we were doing some shit we called the paper. It's called the paper in Atlanta. Like it's similar to the shit like what the Water Boys got going on now. But we had the paper, typed up paper, saying we play for such and such football team and we raising donations. So I was doing that. So basically, what was that?
I would say y'all was scamming then, you know what I'm saying?
We was scamming the rich, but the hood rich, we were telling them what going on. Like we would let them know, hey man, we ain't really on no football team. We got I'm just out here trying to get us some money, and we don't want to be selling dope.
Yeah, I feel that.
We were too young, you know what I'm saying? I had little brothers to look over, so I ain't want them going down the wrong path. So it was my idea. Like I got with some of my homies from Four Seasons, Thomasville, and Jonesboro South, and they put me on to the paper shit. But I started typing up our own papers. And I told my little brother, I'm like, this is what we gonna be doing. We ain't gonna be the young nigga that's standing in front of the store with a little $100 bomb and you know what I'm saying, shit like that. Nah, we gonna be the nigga. We was the nigga that get on the motor bus in the morning, early in the morning, shoot out there to Alpharetta or somewhere, Sandy Spring, done with it where the rich at, do the paper, make 100, 150, and we come back and we gambled those niggas that was on the block. That's what we did. We gambled the niggas that was on the block, the nigga that was selling drugs, the nigga that was pulling up in the nice cars, because it was a handful of us. So even if I just had 200 or something on me, it's probably like 5, 6, 7 of us with 200 or at least 100. So they looking at us like we sweet. So that's how a nigga really made a name for himself too, hood for hood, shooting dice with the older niggas in the hood, because we was already had getting a little money. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that major, but it was some major for our age.
Yeah, that part. Alright, would you say like everything around you in the sense though, did they kind of have like you thinking like, okay, this might be
I'm a product of my environment.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I'm a product of my environment. I just ain't gonna like. I ain't gonna let the system fail me. You know how everybody fall to the system?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna fall to the system. That was always my motto, like don't fall to the system. So I'm a product of my environment, but I ain't gonna fall to the system.
Yeah. Is that what kept you in the sense from not like being in front of the counters like you said, as far as like with the W's, as far in the in front of the corner store selling or whatever?
See, I ain't gonna lie. My family tried to keep us out the street as much as possible.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I could just it wasn't even like we could just be on the corner selling weed. Cause if my uncle pull up, like he snatching me up. Like nigga, get your ass out of the corner. Like that's what he was hustling for. So we didn't have to be on the corner, so we didn't have to follow in their footsteps. But shit, it just sometimes the apple don't fall too far from the tree.
Yeah. So how was like your how did people even react in the way like when you even started to come up on the music part then, when you even started to introduce them to it, that you was doing it?
I was always popular and popping. Like in high school I won best dress, middle school I won best dress, most popular, shit like that. I always was popular. I always was a nigga that niggas fuck with. I got good energy. I've been having good energy. When I come around I lift niggas up. Like I don't want nobody to be in bad spirit or no shit like that. So like even if you're a nerd or a lame, like, and we was in the same class or something, like I'll make sure that I said something to you that made you feel good about yourself. You know what I'm saying? So niggas always wanted me around, and I just always was a nigga that had game. Like I told you, I got raised by the streets. The streets raised a nigga. Like my mama raised me, but when I say as far as like knowledge and how to carry myself and demeanor and shit, like street rules, streets raised a nigga, because my family was trying to keep a nigga out the streets. Like all my uncles and shit that was in the streets and shit. Like my dad was in jail, so they don't want a nigga to follow the footsteps, so they trying to keep us away from the shit. But it's like shit, hell nah, nigga knew about the shit, cause shit, we seen it.
Yeah.
And shit, I fitted the description of a rapper.
Yeah.
Like I came out when you really had to be who you was. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I came out when, if you get on the song saying you this and that, the people that know you, they gonna know you lying if that ain't what you is. So I came out, my generation was the time where I came out and people knew I was what I was saying I was. So shit, I fit the description.